Ready?
All right, yeah, it started now.
What's up, YOHP family? It's your boy Ehu here with T Roy, my boy D Greasy, and it's a turbulent time to be a Dallas fan, man. Out here in Dallas, we got tornado warnings, and I ain't just talking about the weather, man. It's crazy out here. So D, get us rolling, man.
You hear that? You hear that, man?
And I have to say, that was your best intro, bro.
That sound is, we need help out here in Dallas because they have lost their damn minds.
Man.
Okay? All right, look what's happening lately. Like the injuries, the trades.
Bro.
I never seen a franchise so discombobulated in my life.
Bro.
I've been a Mavs fan for so long, and this is new territory for me, honestly. So So what I'm actually going to do, we're going to talk about Mavs. Like, we ain't damn all the other stuff. We Mavs fans. You see Ehu with the Dallas hat. You see Troy with the invisible Dallas hat. Come on. Like, we got to talk this Mavs stuff because this is very disappointing. I want to know what everybody think, too, in the chat. So, but hey, before we do that, Ehu, man, let them know what the goal is for the subscriber count and whatnot.
Yeah, man, we are currently sitting at 36 subscribers. We're trying to reach 50. So if you can, share the stream, share the YouTube channel with your friends, family, anybody you want to talk mess with. If they're a Dallas hater, send them my way. I'll defend my terrible team till the day I die, man. So if you know anybody that would be interested in listening to, some old retired hoopers talk about some sports. Hey, man, come on in. We welcome everybody, all ages, colors, sizes. Man, just come on in.
Hey, man. Well, they ain't out fact checking me. No, I'm wrong. But man, I appreciate that, Ehu. Thanks for letting them know. But back to the topic at hand. Dallas Mavericks, the franchise itself. How the mighty has fallen, and we're going to get to the first topic. Starting with Kyrie and devastating injury. We got the news today. Kyrie's out with a torn ACL. Everybody who's familiar with a torn ACL, the recovery for that is typically 8 to 12 months. So big blow because that's basically our franchise player, and he goes down. Our other, I'm just saying, he basically our franchise player. He goes down. Now we got the other franchise player. He's still out, and they're probably going to deactivate him. So, what's the future for the Mavericks, man? What y'all think going to happen, man? After hearing about this devastating news.
Troy, go ahead and handle it.
It's bleak like the weather, bro. Bro. I gotta take a breath, bro, because we not in control our own future, bro. We don't own none of our picks, none of them. So we just gotta hope that the ball rolls favorably for us so we can actually draft somebody. It's just like, in my lifetime of sports, maybe I'm not gonna like I'm like a big diehard super sport fan. When I was younger, I was a diehard Mavericks fan. I got into football in high school where I became a big football fan, but I never seen somebody erase 25 years of history in a night. And the fact that we don't have none of our picks no more. Kyrie's ACL is done. He's due for an extension, which he may or may not get because they already showed they're not loyal, so he might not even get the extension. So he's going to have to hop in and play on a 1-year contract if he wants to do that. He might hop out. We don't even know. And then AD. I would say AD should go ahead and get that season, go ahead and get that surgery that he needed. There's no point in him coming back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough time to be a Mavs fan, bro.
Yeah, man. It's like you said, 25 years of just loyalty. We were known as a loyal franchise, like Mark Cuban, and we were just, especially for our European players, because at one point in time, European players weren't valued all of our LeBron's, Kobe's, MJ. The European player was a afterthought, but and you had players like Stojakovic and Manu and Tony Parker and those Dirk those kind of players paving the road for these new European players and getting it big globally. And then you see us, a franchise that was known for being loyal, just throw away one of the best European players we've ever seen play the game. And, I hate to say it, but whatever's happening to us right now is all the management's fault. Like, it's crazy because, like you said, Kyrie went down. I think our best replacement for Kyrie was Max Christie, which he's still balling, but if he's the only person out there hooping, James Harden, he just got hurt. So, I mean, it looked like it was just a small sprained ankle, so he should be back. But for a small guard, explosive small guard, Hardy was our best bet to replace Kyrie. And we've seen Hardy take over games, and he's got a great shot, and he doesn't miss a lot of times. But all of our big men are hurt. Like you said, I really agree that AD should definitely just get the surgery and sit out for the rest. Because I don't, not that I don't have faith in our team, because we could probably mess up some people's play-in and maybe try to play with some people, go to a game 7 in the first round, but without our major pieces, we got a bunch of young kids and a bunch of players who haven't played a length amount of time together. So we're at a disadvantage when we play any other team. So I thought I would never see the day that I would have to worry about the Mavericks and who are players on our team. It's a given Dallas, the Cowboys. It's a given that they're just, we don't know what the hell going on over there. But the Mavericks, I don't know, man. It's rough, man.
Man. Kind of, I guess, to piggyback off what y'all just said, there's so many thoughts. I'm trying to organize it the best way I can. So I'm looking at it, like Troy said, don't really have too many draft picks. I do think we actually control this upcoming draft pick. I think.
I can fact check you. Go ahead.
But I want to say the ones we don't control is 2 years out, going all the way to 2030. So, but I might be wrong about that. But yeah, so we basically would have to trade everybody, and try to basically say, hey, we're giving up right now. Who wants 80? We re-sign Kyrie. Kyrie's a 1-year deal, so you can get him off the books and blah blah blah, things like that. You still can trade Lively, young piece. Hey, we got a young center somebody could use, get value for that. You just got to pretty much start all the way over. Otherwise, you're just going to be mediocre forever. So, obviously, you might have to keep somebody like Max Christie and all them and go from there. Or, if you want to blow it all the way up and get rid of him too, and he possibly go to a better situation, do that as well. But you got that going on. Still, the ulterior motives from the ownership and the raising of the ticket prices. How are you going to raise ticket prices? And you just lost, basically, you traded your actual franchise player. Then the replacement franchise player just injured himself, and you had the audacity to make ticket prices go up 6%. We're going to pay more to watch this. And don't get me wrong, I really have been I've been appreciating watching this team play hard, but it was going to get to a point. It was going to get to a point where they get tired, man. Bro, it's just not enough.
Since the Luka trade, I don't mean to cut you off. Since the Luka trade, Kyrie has been playing the most minutes in the NBA.
Yep. He's 32. 32 years old.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to an injury-prone 32-year-old superstar? He already had a bulging disc. So that means he shouldn't have been playing that many minutes in the first place. Mm-hmm. And also, even if you're trying to chase a seeding, you still got to give Kyrie a game off every now and then. Yeah. And now, and you see what happened. He didn't take no games off. And I'm pretty sure Kyrie said, hey, I don't want to take games off. I don't want to disappoint the fans, something of that nature. Mm-hmm. But you put this pressure on him, and he's not even getting paid the franchise money to have this type of pressure on him. Mm-hmm. So it's why you just messed this man's money up? Possibly his career. His whole game is predicated off being able to stop on a dime and plant his foot. Yep. And it's going to be way tougher to do that coming off an ACL repair.
And he already lost his legs and lost his step. Like drafting this was the only thing that was actually keeping him like going, because he's nowhere near as quick as he used to be. He's nowhere near, when he elevates on his layup, he don't get as high as he used to, because he be missing like easy layups too now. Back then, like prime Kyrie, they miss layups. Now this Kyrie, he misses layups. Like it just is what it is. So now you got an ACL injury. Like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I because it's Kyrie, he's not gonna be the Kyrie we know. Like, but he's still gonna be an effective player. He's just probably not gonna be an all-star anymore. That's probably what's gonna possibly happen. Yeah. It'd be great though if he still continued to have an all-star level of play though. But you do that to him, and he's already a beloved figure in Dallas. Like in his short span of being here, like we accepted Kyrie. So to see that, it's hurtful to see him go down like that. Like I said, I have a lot going through my head, so I apologize. But the Mavericks are so disappointing. How do you mess something up in a span of 1 year,
bro?
1 year.
He messed it up in one night. He didn't like
one night.
Yeah,
one night.
He didn't. It wasn't like a slow dip. It was like here and then just right in one night, bro. Just straight down,
bro.
Right. In one night, bro. And then what makes it so bad? Like Kyrie deserves his money. Like he legitimately deserves his money. Like he deserves to get like a max for 2 or 3 years. And like if Nico wasn't a snake, he should pay Kyrie that money, because it's 2 or 3 years, and like you pretty much bet on this man and AD to take you to that next level. So you should technically pay this man that money. But it's just like that's the only way I can think that we can get like some type of like brownie points back. It's like we pay Kyrie his money. Older players go like we still giving their chances. We still take chances on like aging players that's still quality and good, and we still have some type of loyalty to some people that Nico likes or the owner likes. Like the owner like you, we take care of you. Like we can still go for that image, but like I understand if we don't pay Kyrie, I don't see how we can recover from this, bro.
I feel like the money is the motivation for them now, especially with the new owners. Like I feel like they're all about the money. They're not about the culture. They're not about the winning. They literally, I feel like they have a Jerry Jones mindset. Like as long as we're selling tickets and we're one of the most profitable.
But they're doing the opposite. That's the crazy part.
You can't sell. They're doing that. I think he's just out of touch, bro. I think he's just out of touch. He don't understand the culture of basketball. He's just out of touch.
But the thing is, he's supposed to be. This is what happened though when you don't have an actual business person running it, because the person that actually made the money is not running the Mavericks. So the business mind is not there, because the business mind would tell you, okay, yes, I want this and this, but if I'm trying to still make money and profit, I probably want to keep this guy here, because if I don't keep this guy here, I'm going to lose money.
Yeah.
And that guy I'm talking about, referring to, is Luka Doncic. And now, okay, you traded him away, whatever. Everybody's mad, but to a degree, we try to have some false sense of hope, right? We try to say, okay, we kind of see the vision. It's messed up. We didn't like it, but the vision to a degree
makes
some sort of sensible things going for it. So it's like, okay, I guess it could work, right? Kyrie goes down, and you raise your ticket prices. Bro,
that don't make no sense.
Bro, Nico just pour like bad mojo all over like the Mavs, bro. Like he already before now, his biggest flop was not signing Jalen Brunson that $55 million a year contract and just letting Jalen Brunson walk to the Knicks. But he made up for that mistake by getting us Kyrie, which is like, okay, cool. We got an older player for, even though Kyrie was older, Jalen Brunson would have matched Luka's range. He would have grown with Luka. But Kyrie is a nice replacement. And then you just kind of decided though, and then you went and gave us other good pieces. You gave us PJ. You gave us Gav. You gave us,
you draft Lively.
Derek Lively. Yeah, you drafted well. You gave us what's his name? The floater guy. Screw my name.
Najee.
Najee. Yeah, gave us Najee. He even gave us Grimes. Grimes was a good piece. and then you just kind of like instead of having faith in the pieces that you developed for us this year, and seeing it through after we just came off of finals, we decided to just be like,
wipe it all the way.
Yep, just let it go.
But once again, that just don't sound like all Nico, because I know a lot of it is Nico because I know you're gonna bring up your AD point, which I do believe you're right about that. He did want AD. Like I said, I go back to saying I think that just went with the timeline. The ownership did not want to pay Luka all that money because, to Ehu's point, they're trying to save money for whatever reason. Probably the move, relocate. We don't know. We'll figure it out in a couple of years. But they didn't want to pay Luka the money, and they said, "Hey, here's your way to not have Luka on the team. Let's and bomb it. Yeah. There you go. You get what you want. We get what we want." And it just go ahead.
Again, it's just like I'm not gonna comment on the owner timeline. I just read what they say about Nico and like how all the stuff is coming to light, and based off what the stuff that I've been fed and I've read, it's mostly Nico. I'm not saying the owner didn't have any parts of it, because it is the owner that's out here pushing that narrative that Luka was out of shape and doing all this extra stuff, and he likes beer and hookah, and he's like throwing a tantrum because everybody mad at him. But it's just a bad look, bro. It's just at this point, I don't see Nico get another job for a different franchise, but who knows? He knows people.
But that's what leads me to believe Nico knew that, though. He had to have the foresight to know this is just a horrible bet on yourself to do, because if this goes wrong, you're never getting a job again. So that kind of leads me to believe the ownership is paying him some big bread under the table.
Yeah, I don't know, because again, I hear about like how much Nico likes AD. I don't think he saw it as a big bet, because even AD agent used to talk, which is LeBron's agent, pretty much talk about how much Nico used to slobber when he mentions AD. I'm not gonna say he literally said that. But he did come out and said that Nico had like he loved AD, and he like had high expectations of AD, and that he really wanted AD to play for him. So it was just like, then the owner I just think the owner's just out of touch. Based off his movement, the way he does things, he's just out of touch of like what the culture of basketball is, because he's just like, he's raising prices after getting rid of his ticket sales, because he assumed that because NBA got a new ticket deal that he can like up the prices and make more money, and it's just not that. It just doesn't. He just shows he's just like an owner to me that doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
that goes to my point. I think Dumont is pretty much a puppet as well. Adelson runs the show at the end of the day. She don't sit there. She don't know nothing about basketball either, I'm sure. But she probably had a goal in mind when she put the money, invested her money into this franchise. And she pretty much said, "Hey, you're my son-in-law. Do what you want." It's pretty much like a toy to them. That's how I view it.
Yeah, it is a toy to them. They got too much money. There's no passion there. He don't have a passion.
Mark Cuban, but Mark Cuban though put heart and soul into it, and you see the results, right? We love what he tried to do. He was very invested into his franchise, and we appreciate operators that are invested into their franchise. That's all it is. So to me, it seemed like Adelson and Dumont, they see a business opportunity, bring the casino here. If that doesn't work, we'll take it elsewhere. Take the show on the road, and we'll sabotage it. We don't care, because we have the money to do that.
See, I agree with you that they don't care. I don't agree that they try to sabotage it. I don't know any businessman that's in business of losing money. So
I kind of agree to an extent that they don't. Well, I 100% agree that they obviously have shown that they don't care. Like, they're not there for the players. Like, Mark Cuban, we know, like you said, he put his heart and soul into the team and owning the team and doing what's right for the team. These people, I think they're making a lot of selfish moves, what they want to see happen, and that's not really how. Like, you can't just run an organization like that. And like I keep going back to Jerry Jones. He wants the Cowboys to be ran a certain way and have his hand in it, and it's not working. And instead of him changing up and doing something different, he's doing the same old thing, and it's not. We'll never go anywhere if he keeps doing it. So I feel like we're going to be in the same boat as Mavericks fans. We're going to be in the same boat as Cowboys fans, and Dallas will become the laughingstock in basketball and football.
Unless we get Cooper Flag and he pans out to be something.
Even
we do got our 2026 pick.
Yeah, I saw that we own that. Then
I thought 2025. We own our 2025, 2026. We don't have our 2028, 2029, and 2030.
30 and 30 we don't have. We don't own that. Yeah. So that's what I thought I saw. So I know. Yeah, I had a feeling we have the next two picks. I mean, and we can possibly get to the 10th pick. I believe if we keep losing out. Again, we gotta lose out again, like the Derek Lively sweepstakes.
Hey, Adam Silver, you watching this? You owe us, bro. You better give us the first pick. You fucking owe us, bro.
For real, bro.
So hey, I have a question though. I have a question for y'all. What do y'all think about the future of Jason Kidd within all this mess? What's going to happen with him at the end of the year?
Look, Nico or Kidd gotta go. So one of them has to go. You can't go another year with both of them. So. If the owner likes Nico like he likes Nico, Kidd's gonna be the sacrificial lamb. But if the owner fed up, then he's gonna fire Nico. He might fire both. So
I think that Kidd, with what the hand he's been given, he's handled it very well. Like in the media, like during the media day after it happened, he bit his tongue and said all the right things to stay positive in the media and this, that, and the third. So I feel like he is our best bet as coach right now. So I think, like Troy just said, keep him, and Nico got to go.
But we have to see if Nico has enough movement to be like, hey, this is the trade offer. How you like it? I don't think the owner is going to fire Nico. I think he's going to give Nico one more year. And then unless Nico, step down, then...
But that goes back to the timeline thing that I keep bringing up. I know you keep saying we don't know, but it just seems so obvious. You don't just give yourself that short of a window out of nowhere, even if you feel like you are in love with a certain player, because that just doesn't make sense as a GM. So I think he knew. I think he did. I personally think they said, "Hey, this is our goal, and if you don't want to follow it, you can get up out of here. But if you follow it, we're gonna feed your family. We're gonna feed you."
But to you, that doesn't make sense. We have to think like Nico. To Nico, it makes sense. Again, to you, it doesn't make sense. To you, Trey Luka makes 0 sense. To all of us, Trey Luka makes 0 sense. But to Nico, having AD feels like make the Mavericks a better team than it was last year.
And that's why to me,
that's not a horrible point. But at the same time,
I just feel like all of his past decisions, this one is a total 360.
Not really, because he didn't sign Jalen Brunson. He could have easily matched Jalen Brunson. He didn't.
But that's
when at what point are we talking about? Are we talking about at the end of the year or beginning of the year?
Because at the beginning of the year, Jalen wasn't performing like he was when Luka was hurt. When Luka got hurt, that's when towards the end of the year in the playoffs, Jalen came alive. And so if I could see why Nico, if he sees this undersized guard that is not really producing as well when Luka's on the court, our star player, then that makes more sense than getting rid of Luka.
That doesn't make sense because you literally have a period of time where you can re-sign the player before he tests free agency. And he didn't even re-sign him then. He was like, you can test free agency and we'll see what you're worth and we'll match it. And he could have easily did that.
That still makes more sense.
Yeah, the only reason why that makes sense, we went to the playoff series. We went to a playoff game because they played the Clippers that year, right? Mm-hmm. We literally saw Jalen Brunson freeze up like a deer in headlights during that series against the Clippers the year before he came out and basically said, "I'm Jalen Brunson." So it's not like Jalen was doing what he did in 2022 and Nico's like, screw that. We didn't. None of us saw that. Now he gradually, as the season went until 2022 playoffs, he gradually improved. He showed that he was good, and it took Luka, like Ehu said, it took Luka getting hurt to really show what he was all about. And plus, we forget about little stuff like Nico was making moves to get like Dinwiddie. Nobody liked that move, but that was a good move.
Yeah,
in
but
2022.
But at the same time, the Jalen Brunson move doesn't make sense because
does. Your own words say it does because
because Jalen Brunson and Luka, they're near the same age. So if you're trying to build something like Boston or you're trying to build something like OKC, you want players around your superstar's age. And if you got a young player in his I think that was his third year, and he showed that he can be a better player, and you get him for cheaper, you pay that man cheaper.
Okay, so I'm going to use what you said when you told us that Nico likes defense, and that's why he went and got AD because it made sense to him. He wouldn't keep Brunson for a defensive-minded team. He wouldn't. Like I said, it makes more sense to get rid of Brunson in Nico's head because of defense than it does getting rid of Luka to get AD for defense.
And that's fine. Then why get Kyrie?
For the veteranship.
You said defense. You said defense. Huh? You said you get rid of for defense. It's not like we got rid of Jalen Brunson and then we was like, hey, let's go get a defensive minded guard.
Because we know who Kyrie is. We know who Kyrie is.
Yeah, he's not a defensive minded guard.
But wait.
So he's a cold. He's been a cold his whole career.
But wait, with that point in mind, right? He went and got Kyrie. So he basically said, we're building around that. That means he was building around Luka. That means he knew the goal was to build around Luka. Luka needed another playmaking scorer that can take pressure off of him. That's Kyrie. He said, hey, look, I screwed up the Jalen Brunson thing. I didn't think Jalen Brunson was going to be this good. I screwed it up. Let me go get a more poised version of this guy.
To make up for it.
But what did you say before? He screwed up the Jalen Brunson thing. So the original question is that it didn't make sense because he had a good track record, but he did have bad track records as well. He made bad decisions as well. That's what I'm saying. So to sit there and say he's incapable of making bad decisions is false. Because I
didn't say he was incapable. I'm just saying, to me, the way that Jalen Brunson and his dad was going in the media, that's the reason why I feel like Nico got rid of him. It wasn't because we hadn't really seen much from Jalen until Luka got hurt, and seeing them on the court, they didn't really mesh well. That's why when Jalen went to NY, that's when he went to the Knicks, that's when he had his own team. So like I'm saying, for Nico, for him to get rid of Jalen Brunson at that time, that he was upset, his dad was in the media talking bad about the Mavericks, let's get rid of that. That made more sense. Get rid of the negativity, get rid of this player who doesn't really play defense like that, and let's go get a veteran that can help Luka mature and help the culture of the team get better because we need a playmaker to match with Luka.
Based off what your words, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Based off your words, is that, we need to get rid of the negative out the locker room. That's why he got rid of Luka. He saw the negative.
That is a good point too.
And that's why that move made sense to Nico, because he saw the negative in somebody, got rid of him, and tried to get a positive. He saw the negative in Luka,
Let me ask you this one question.
Try to get a positive.
Let me ask you this one question: does Jalen Brunson's what he adds to the team, does it outweigh his negatives, or does Luka's what he adds to the team outweigh his negatives? Which one is worse?
It depends. It depends because
Jalen at the time negatives are worse because he's not a franchise player, so you're supposed to keep
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing, him getting rid of Jalen made more sense.
At the time, he wasn't a franchise player. He is now.
He was not a franchise player.
But then you have to also realize is that with losing Jalen Brunson, he's getting rid of nothing in return for Jalen Brunson. He just let Jalen Brunson walk. With Luka, he got like a top 10 player in return for Luka. So you you losing nothing, but at least you getting something. You get a top 15 scorer and a top 5 to 10 defender.
But Troy. So based on what I remember hearing, they try to get Jalen Brunson a contract before the season started, right? Yeah. Now, I think he said no. He's trying to hold off, increase his value, and they said okay, And I guess Jalen Brunson thought, well, we can talk right around trade deadline time. Let's talk about around that time. Then they tried to re-sign him during the trade deadline timing, and Jalen Brunson's dad already got in his ear. Bro, you're a number one guy. Why you don't need to stay here. I'm going to New York.
Exactly.
and I have your franchise spot saved for you. You're gonna make more. Well, you're not gonna make more money, but hey, you're gonna get that number one spot. You're gonna be able to get all the shots you want. You get to show the world that you're an all-star, and that's exactly how it played out for Jalen Brunson. So he had to bet on himself because he knew he was never going to be. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish that statement.
I was just gonna say Jalen Brunson in his own mind knew as long as Luka was there, he's never gonna have his own team.
That's fine, but Nico could have matched that contract. Based off the free agency rules, we still had the rights to Jalen Brunson because I want to say it's unrestricted. I forget. Not here or there, but we could have matched that contract.
I thought he was unrestricted because he walked.
No,
and that's what I'm saying. Like
so what happened
he let him
was
go to
that
get
he when he signed the contract, he signed it so fast that they couldn't match it because Nico took too long to make that decision. But he took too long. But my point is the idea is that if he was already preparing to re-sign Jalen Brunson, why do you have to take so long to make a decision to match that contract?
Because he didn't see the value until the end of the year, to the playoffs. Really, nobody saw the value. Once we saw how Jalen Brunson was balling in 2022, how he saved Dallas' ass. Because people keep talking about, people forget, Dallas fans forget. They're like Luka carried everybody through Luka didn't even play like the first two games in the Utah team.
Yeah.
How Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie carrying.
But based off what we was talking about the whole way through, like they was trying to resign Jalen Brunson. If your mindset was that you was going to resign Jalen Brunson anyway, why are you taking so long to match that? He should have instantly matched it because he should have just went to Jalen Brunson and just be like, hey, whatever they pay you, we match it regardless.
I think he was trying to see what was going on. Like this is just I don't know the validity to this. I think he probably had his eye on Kyrie and he was thinking I would rather have Kyrie than Jalen Brunson.
But again,
which to me that makes more sense. Kyrie has a resume. No. He has the
Kyrie's value was lower when we got him too.
That's why I disagree with you. Let somebody Jalen Brunson go for nothing because it's not like we traded Jalen Brunson for Kyrie. We let him go for nothing.
Yeah, I understand.
Rather than trading Luka for a superstar. Like it's not like we're getting back a all-star or a star. We're getting back another superstar for Luka.
But they had no chance of getting Jalen Brunson back. He was unrestricted.
That's what I'm saying. Like Jalen Brunson had already made
contracts are restricted.
He had already made
at it. Jalen Brunson was set to become an unrestricted free agent in 2022 after playing for the Dallas Mavericks for 4 seasons. However, he signed a 4-year, $104 million contract with New York instead. So he walked.
That's what I'm saying. He chose to leave. It wasn't Nico. But what I'm saying is,
I could have sworn all rookie contracts come restricted at first year.
His dad was already talking to him about leaving that year. So it's like, what was Nico to do? He can't force this man to sign back here. But what I'm saying is, I feel like for him to not sign Jalen, he made up for it for bringing in Kyrie. Because to me, I'm going to take this veteran dude who has well-versed in the game, knows how to be a good teammate, hasn't really had no problems besides his wokeness or outspokenness about, some views, but he's never really been, drugs or alcohol or guns and this and the third. So to me, in my mind, letting Jalen go wasn't as bad as letting Luka go to the Lakers.
It is bad because you got nothing for him. We got something for Luka. We got nothing for Jalen.
But that was out of his hands. It wasn't like he chose to just let him go. His dad and him and his dad already wanted to leave.
Say I'm wrong about he's unrestricted. That's fine. If he's already not planning on signing back, why not just move him?
Who's gonna? I
don't think they knew. I think they thought he was going to resign.
Exactly. But
based off, you said they tried to resign him at the beginning of the year. They tried to resign him at the trade deadline, and he said no. Then at that point, you should have moved him. We got nothing. We got literally nothing for.
But Jalen Brunson's value wasn't. You're thinking because you're almost thinking this is New York Jalen Brunson though.
But that's fine.
Jalen Brunson's value wasn't even that high.
It wasn't high, but we still could have got something for him.
What do you think he would have been worth?
I would have to go see back in 2020.
I got you.
Because I don't know who was on the block in 2020 off the top of my head.
Right.
So I would have to literally go back and look at the information because we could have got a veteran presence for a young point guard, if that was the case. But we got nothing for him.
I just think he didn't have enough on his resume to warrant picks or an actual good, like, great player that we could have got. Like, I feel like he wouldn't have been a great trade for Kyrie if we'd have put him in a package. We'd have had to give up more with him to get Kyrie if we'd have traded him. So I feel like the best bet was let him walk and we can get something for, because I don't think we would have got much for him.
I'm just saying, because if that's the case, because Quentin Grimes was pretty much the same thing, and instead of when Quentin Grimes told him that he wasn't re-signing, he traded him for Caleb Martin. So he got another key piece. But I'm just saying,
I mean, ain't Caleb hurt?
but I'm just saying, he still got a piece for him. Right, he didn't let Quentin Grimes walk for nothing.
Right.
So you telling me you couldn't get a piece for Jalen Brunson? You let somebody walk for nothing, bro. You let a future all-star superstar walk for nothing. Even if he wasn't a future superstar or all-star, you let him walk for nothing.
Was Grimes' contract up?
Yes.
Was he an unrestricted free agent?
Yeah, I don't know.
Was he? Did he want to leave?
Yeah, he wanted to leave.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The bad blood from Jalen Brunson's dad, do you think they would have let him use them as a trade? He didn't want to help Dallas out. They was trying to get up out of there ASAP. So why would they let that, like, sign anything with them? Why wouldn't they just leave if they already was like, I'm done with Dallas. I don't want my son to be here. This, that, and the third.
That's fine.
So that's to me, that's out of Nico's hands.
No,
you can't
really,
make them,
because if you try to sign him at the beginning of the year and you try to sign him at the trade deadline, you can still trade him, motherfucker. Like Nico still can trade him for something at the trade deadline. Like
I give a choice in
because like at that point he already showed his hand that he don't want to resign for it to you. Yeah. Then you move him for something.
Well, I have to research too. I have to make sure I'm correct as far as the the trade deadline thing with Jalen Brunson though. So I'm gonna have to make sure I'm correct with that. I know for a fact they offered him a contract in the beginning, and he didn't feel like that was worth his value. And he turned that down. I do know that for a fact. And I think he basically said by the end of the season they did try to offer him a contract, but Mark Cuban said out his mouth he had already been in New York by the time they even thought about offering him anything.
That's what I'm saying. So if he already know he's not going to commit to you long term when you already has made that extension, then you just move him and just be like.
I mean, but how did he know? Like he. There's no way for Nico to predict the future about.
Bro, he denied the extension.
Okay, so what if there's something else he could have offered him? Like that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, if Nico would have tried the one time and it failed and he gave up after that and didn't move him, then that's Nico's fault. But if he was trying to keep him on the team and Jalen didn't want to stay, that's not on Nico.
I think Jalen lucked out. Jalen lucked out because that playoff series really saved his value.
That's fine.
Exactly.
But the idea that like he offered something. And then the whole conversation just stopped because he didn't like that money. Then like that idea, that means you should just move him at that point. If you're not negotiating in between all the way up to the trade deadline, then obviously you're not getting on the same page. So why will you keep him? You move him.
So let me use your idea that you said about having the leverage in a negotiation. Jalen Brunson didn't have the value to me, this is my opinion about Nico's view on Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson didn't have the value yet that he has now in New York. He had one good playoff series with us while Luka was hurt. So why would Nico break the bank or try to beg this player to come back when he hadn't really showed us a lot? For Nico to just be like,
then you move him. This was my point.
So what I'm saying, in Nico's mind, he doesn't have the he would be at a disadvantage trying to move Jalen Brunson to anywhere. He's going to have to give up more to get something.
No, he would.
It's different than the Luka trade because Luka was Luka.
If you can trade Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin, you can trade young Jalen Brunson for a piece.
Caleb Martin and Quentin Grimes are similar players. They're both role players. They're not all-stars.
Who's better, Quentin Grimes or 2020 Jalen Brunson?
2020? Quentin Grimes was.
Quentin Grimes was better than 2020 Jalen Brunson.
2020, not 2022.
He wasn't that good. He wasn't that great.
His rookie year, he was not good. He didn't even play that much. Carlisle gave him a chance.
Oh, so no, then we got the year wrong. That it's 2022. Jalen.
That's what I said. 2022.
I initially said 2022.
Yeah, 2022 Brunson was way better than 2020 Brunson, but not by a mile. It wasn't like.
But I'm just saying. But my point is that like if he was able to trade Quentin Grimes to get a piece back, why couldn't he do the same for Jalen Brunson?
Because how long had Quentin Grimes been on our team? Does anybody know?
Just a year.
Just 1 year? Yeah. Just 1 year, right? And in that year, in that like first year that we months, in the first, just to say the first season that Quentin Grimes was on our team, he had done more than Jalen did in his first season. Because Quentin Grimes was a great role player, and he complemented Luka's game better.
But my point is, you're trying to say that Jalen Brunson had no value. He had some value. You're not gonna sit there and look at a dude that's 24 years. I want to say he was 24 at the time. I won't prepare to look at ages. Averaging 16 have zero value is just that's ingenuous.
I'm not saying he has zero value. I'm just saying for him, like there were other guys on the market that had his same skill set that were doing more.
That's
like
Brunson got hot in the middle of that year, by the way.
But all I'm saying is that like my point is that you got nothing for him, and you're trying to say you could have got you could have traded him for something else. That's if we was trading for something big. If you gonna get nothing for him, you could have got PJ Tucker for all I care.
Right. Something.
Or
just something.
Kadarius,
I don't think that's better.
I'm just saying though. At that time, PJ Tucker at that time was a good role player. Right. Or you could have got what's the defender that I used to Covington. Covington was a good player at that time. You could have got Covington for Brunson. Like there's veteran presence that you could have got if you knew that he wasn't coming back. So,
and that's why I think I don't think he had all of the information about whether he was leaving or not, because I feel like Jalen Brunson and his dad kind of like, y'all not giving us what we want. We did.
And if he does have information, that makes the thing even worse because he's the GM. He's supposed to know what's going on with his players.
I mean,
it's literally your job is to know what's going on with your players.
I get what you're saying with that to a degree. It's kind of hard. See, that Jalen is a tricky situation because it's not like he was a standout the years before that 2022 season. What did he average? 12, I think. The year before that.
Year before that, he averaged 12.
So, and then before that, 9. He averaged 9 rookie year, 8. He fell off sophomore year, so that's already kind of like, man, we don't even know what's going to happen with him. And then he averages 12. That's by his third year. And so that basically be like saying, if Jaden Hardy right now was like,
but Jaden Hardy averaged 16. But if Jaden Hardy said average 16, I bet you would have got traded at the trade deadline.
Well, I mean, I feel like if he was doing more, I'm just throwing a player out there, Darius Garland. Darius Garland played a similar style like Jalen Brunson did. Darius Garland was balling in Cleveland. He, like I said, the market for smaller guards like Jalen Brunson, there were people outplaying him at that same position, same build. That's why I feel like he didn't have the value that I think that to get more. Like we could have got a 6th round pick for him, maybe.
It's not football, so no.
I'm just saying, like
he over exaggerating.
I'm over exaggerating. No. I know. We could have got a pick for him. I understand what you're saying.
You don't let him go for nothing.
And okay, so let me ask you this: if they waited to the deadline to trade him, and then they like Jalen and his dad had already made their minds up that they were leaving to go to New York, and Nico and Jalen were in talks or in negotiations right before the deadline, and nothing happened. Oh, how did he have time to shop him around if he thought he was going to come back?
Shit, he shot Luka in like 3 weeks.
Well, see, I'm saying Luka and Jalen, you can't compare that trade.
He shot
Luka
Grimes,
is not Jalen.
Grimes in 24 hours.
Grimes was better than Jalen.
I'm just saying, bro. It's possible.
Like, look, it's hard to shop a player who isn't as good than it is to shop a great player or a player that's better. that you can get something from.
But and then the idea that Grimes was better than Jalen Brunson is false, though. Grimes was,
their very first year. Yes, Grimes was way better than Brunson.
No, we have to compare whatever year Grimes is now. No, whatever year Grimes is now, we have to compare that year to Jalen.
I'm talking about his first year on Dallas is what I'm talking about. His first year on Dallas.
His only year on Dallas.
I know. I'm just saying Jalen Brunson's first year on Dallas versus Grimes' first year on Dallas.
So you're comparing a rookie season with an experienced season.
That's why I didn't want to do that.
Okay, so what I'm saying is it's different in different situations, in different systems. So I'm using their first year in Dallas because we have that information. I can't say Jalen Brunson's second year in New York versus his second year in Dallas is totally different. Because it's a different system. He wasn't playing on the ball. He didn't have the ball in his hand. He wasn't the first option. He didn't have Cat or he didn't have Randall or whoever else was on their team when he first got there. All I'm saying is, in our system, in our Dallas system with Luka, Jalen Brunson's first year versus Grimes' only year with us. Because that's all we have. That's all the information we have. We can't just think 2 years ahead to win Brunson's third year with our second year with us.
But I think what Troy trying to do though, I think Troy's saying you got to compare Grimes this year to the year we let Jalen walk because that's when he should have been traded. Was the year that he walked. So,
but I'm saying Grimes hadn't played a full year with us. Is what I'm saying. So you can't really compare that.
You really can though.
You can't because he hadn't been on our team long enough as Jalen was. Jalen was on our team for what 2-3 years? 4 years. Okay, so. Let Grimes have been on our team for 4 years. You don't think he would have?
But that makes it even worse though because Grimes only had it. This is Grimes' best season in his entire career. Period. And it only been 6 months, 7 months. While Jalen Brunson was didn't start his first year. Then his points went down. Then his points went back up. Then he started averaging double digits, and then he started averaging 16. He from the 3-year span, he's increasing. He's showing that he can be better. While Grimes, you have a very small sample of Grimes averaging 16 his entire career. While Brunson is showing that he's from his second year and above that he's getting better and better every year. You don't have that with Grimes.
What I'm saying is it's hard to gauge a player in a different system versus a player in this system. You can't really compare Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks Jalen Brunson, to Maverick Jalen Brunson.
I'm not comparing that to Jalen Brunson.
But what I'm saying is we can compare Jalen Brunson, Maverick Jalen Brunson, and Maverick Grimes. We can compare those because we have that information.
How about this?
You could have got a piece for Jalen Brunson just like you got a piece for Quentin Grimes.
So how about this? What did y'all think about when DSJ got traded after his rookie year? That's a good comparison there, right?
I didn't like that because DSJ was I don't know.
But we got a piece, but at least we got something back from DSJ.
What did we get for him?
Porzingis? Yeah.
Damn, and that didn't work out. I hate that. I like Porzingis too.
But we still got a piece.
But DSJ
we as a matter of fact, that deal came with THJ and Porzingis, I think.
So
so let me ask you this: how long was DSJ on our team?
A year and a half.
1 year, and he was balling out.
Yeah,
doing way more than Jalen did on his first year on Dallas. So that's all I'm saying. Like the very first year they were on here, who balled out more? DSJ did. And DSJ got moved because something going on with Rick Carlisle. That had nothing to do with shipping him for the betterment of the team. That was because Carlisle didn't like him.
But now you're comparing people with different draft stocks. That's like another entirely different thing.
Okay, like I said, I get you. In an ideal world, Nico should have gotten something from Jalen, but at the same time, it was kind of out of his hands because they were trying to leave without doing nothing for Dallas.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It wasn't out of his hands because he could have moved them at the trade deadline.
They messed up. They didn't believe in his value. That's all it really was, man. They didn't believe in the value. They didn't believe in the value. They found Jalen bet on himself, and it ended up paying off for Jalen because he bought out. He bought out after the trade deadline, and he bought out in the playoffs and that is what substantially increased his value. And by that time, he said, "Well, screw it. They didn't want to pay me. They didn't believe in me, so I'm not going to take this extension. I'm going to go here where I'm appreciated."
So how can you move somebody that you're still in talks with, trying to get to stay? You can't say, "I'm trying to offer you this," while at the same time trying to trade you away.
You can be like, "If we don't sign this by the trade deadline, I'm gonna trade you."
Right.
Like,
you could do that.
So let me ask you this: by the trade deadline, if nothing came from it, or Jalen wasn't talking, and Nico had the right to move him, which he did,
you move for the best offer, whatever the best offer is.
Let me ask you this: what if no one was offering them anything because they didn't have a big enough sample size for Jalen Brunson? What if no one wanted him?
Somebody would have took a shot, bro.
Okay, so let me ask you this: as a GM, let's say as the Knicks GM, if they know they can get, they don't have to give up nothing to Dallas. They could just get him in the free agency. Why would anybody want to trade anything to Dallas?
But they can't.
That's out of Nico's hands.
That's literally against the rules.
What do you mean? They can wait till his contract is up.
But the father can't go and during the season and be like, "My son is coming to y'all." That's literally against the rules. That's a rule.
But that's what he did.
That's exactly.
But
thank you,
Dan. He did that.
Thank you.
He did that in free agency.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if somebody wanted, like, if I'm a smart GM and I don't have to give up none of my picks, none of my veteran players, nothing for Jalen Brunson, I'm not gonna give it up. I'm just gonna wait till his contract is up and go get him from Dallas.
That knowledge can't be offered to the Knicks until the free agency. If the Knicks,
what knowledge? What knowledge?
That Jalen Brunson's going to be a Knick.
Oh no! But I'm just saying, like, if everybody around the league knows that Jalen is trying to leave, and we're trying to rebuild over here in New York, then let's wait. If Nico reaches out to, let's say Nico did reach out to the Knicks and the Hawks and whoever else around the league, and then they're like, "Oh, his contract about to be up. Oh, y'all want some picks and some players from us? Nah, I'm good. We'll wait."
That's fine.
That ain't on Nico.
And that's fine.
So that's what I'm saying.
I can be like, what? That's fine. You can wait till free agency, but there's no guarantee you're going to get them. I can guarantee you're going to get them.
But wait. So you're right. They can't do that. But Brunson technically did it. But as a loophole, he wasn't actually hired until June 2nd, 2022. So after the playoffs, during free agency. So they were talking to each other. That's why Jalen knew. He said, "Hey, I'm not being a super coach up here." Fine.
That knowledge is not going to get out though. So say like he did be like, "Oh well, I tipped the Knicks." Only the Knicks knows. The Knicks can't go out to be like, "Hey, 76. If you trade for Jalen Brunson, he's going to sign with us anyway." They can't do that.
No, they would just say we're not interested.
My point is that's one team. That's just one team. That's 29 other teams he can trade Jalen Brunson to.
But what if they didn't want him? He can't force this trade on teams that don't want Jalen Brunson. He can't force a trade, bro.
You telling me? I'll be like, "Hey, let me get your next year second round pick for Jalen Brunson."
If they don't want Jalen Brunson, they can say no.
I didn't believe in Jalen Brunson until he showed me in 2022 playoffs. Honestly,
exactly.
I will say this. I didn't watch every game in 2022, but P-Boss, the homie P-Boss, he was every now and then when we were talking, he'd be like, "Hey man, Jalen Brunson, man, he's been doing really good, well this year, right?" And it's like, yeah, so his value was increasing, but not enough for it to be like, "Hey, we gotta have this guy on our team." Only Rick Bronson and Jalen Brunson believed in Jalen Brunson.
My thing is, it's like y'all act like you can get nothing for him. We seen people worse than Jalen Brunson get traded for less.
But in a package.
But we can package something. We can move something.
All I'm saying is
like the idea that nobody be interested of a 24-year-old averaging 16 points per game is just a false narrative, bro.
But how do you know that? How do you know that? You don't know that for a fact, Troy. The fact is, we don't know who offered what for Jalen Brunson. All we can go off of is
we don't know. He didn't offer nothing because he didn't ask for nobody to offer anything.
We don't know if he might have asked somebody. No one said anything.
He was 25, right? He was 25. He averaged 16. You're not getting the All-Star back. You don't look at potential at that point.
Stop looking at All-Stars. I said role player. You can get some type of vet. You can get
what vet?
I told you, PJ Tucker.
The only way that makes sense is if they would have said, "Hey, we're trying to get rid of this big contract."
No, the only way that makes sense is that like this man don't want to sign with us. So how about you take this? That way you have to get him in free agency.
Yeah, but the veteran that you're trying to get back will have a big contract because they're trying to get that contract off the books.
Yeah,
they're not going to give away a one year rental because they can have that off their books. So it would have to be a team that wants to get rid of a bad contract.
That's fine, but you can still get rid of them.
Nobody wants to do that though, Troy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't it be smarter for other GMs not to offer anything and just wait for free agency? Like, that's smarter as a GM.
It's not smarter because you're not guaranteed to get them. The only person they probably, based off the tip pitch of the Knicks, they're the only team that knew they was going to get them. Every team is not guaranteed to get the person in free agency.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, why give up anything? Why even give up anything? If you don't know if it's a gamble that you're gonna get him or not, don't give up anything. If you don't need him,
if you say you want a player or you say you want a role player, and you be like, well, I might be able to get him in the free agency. It doesn't make sense to go and compete with other teams in free agency. We can just get him for a second round pick or something less, and just be like, maybe we can see it. We can try this out.
It does make more. To me, in my opinion, it makes more sense not to gamble on a player who hadn't shown me nothing. He ain't shown me that he's better than the players on my team. So why would I gamble trying to get this dude when he ain't really showed me nothing? So I'm gonna just wait. I'm not gonna bank all my second round pick or one of my veteran players on this player who ain't really done much. And there's other players with his same build, same style of play, doing way better. Like the Darius Garlands of the league were doing way better than Jalen Brunson. So what I'm saying is, why would any smart GM?
You're comparing all-stars. I said vet or role player. You're comparing the all-star. Stop comparing all-star to that.
Okay, so what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, why would any team give up one of their vets or role players for a player that they think that they don't need?
What you mean?
Besides the only reason why the Knicks had him.
Say you a championship contender team. You telling me you can't use 16 points off the bench? Your second round pick ain't gonna never be used anyway.
You don't know that?
I do know that. That second round pick ain't never gonna be fucking unless it's Bronny.
Hey, hold up. The 3-time MVP is a second round pick.
I'm talking about as a championship contender team. I'm talking about bottom half second round picks. How many of them has been used in the NBA?
We have to go look that up.
Yeah,
we got it. I bet it's less than 1%.
Well, all I'm saying is,
so you telling me if I'm a championship contender team, I can go get a 16-point per game dude to come off the bench point guard to help run my second unit for a late second round pick, and his contracts come off the book next year? Oh hell yeah!
But Troy, something that adds up that makes me believe the Maverick front office at the time did not think anybody wanted Jalen and thought they had a chance to get him in unrestricted free agency is because they probably did try to offer something. They didn't get anything back. And they said, well, you know what? We still kind of like this kid, though, because he played pretty well with Luka. We still kind of like him. We just don't think his value is as high as he think it is. Then unrestricted free agency, the season ends, unrestricted free agency comes up. They didn't even know his dad was going to sign with the Knicks. So, of course, they're not going to know his dad was talking to the Knicks the whole time and that he's going to go straight to New York.
But that's more reason why you move him.
Well, he ain't going nowhere. He's just going to stay in Dallas where he's comfortable because he's going to get his numbers with Luka as a number 2 guy because his value shows number 2.
But that's why you move him, though, is that we don't think he's worth this. We already signed it. We already offered you a contract. You want more money, and we don't think he's worth that money. So if you want this amount of money, go get that shit somewhere else. We're not paying you, so we're gonna move you, and so you go get your bag somewhere else.
All right. So let me ask you this, Troy. So why, if another team can keep their veteran or role players and trade them for somebody else, and then get this for unrestricted free agent in Jalen Brunson as well, as smart GM, would keep all my pieces, trade them for who I really need, and then go get this unrestricted free agent. I don't have to bank on this unrestricted free agent first.
Again, you're competing with 29 other teams to get that free agent.
All 29 of them teams don't have to give up nothing if he's going to be free agent.
But you're not guaranteed to get that player.
But if you don't need that, if they all don't need that, they can use their veterans and their role players to get people that they need. Or they didn't need Jalen.
Or you can.
Jalen Brunson didn't seem to move the needle enough for you to be like, hey,
exactly.
That's fine. You know what other player I don't need? My second round 55th pick. You know what other player I don't need? My second round 50th pick. You know what other player I don't need? My second round 60th pick. I don't need my second round 59 pick. They're going to be the G League anyway.
Troy, we did that at the time. You know Dallas fans would have went off.
What? For a second round pick? Bro.
Yes. Because just like you just said it, that year, he averaged, or he was hovering around, I'm assuming 16 majority of that year.
We had been mad, yes. But at the same time, we would have got something for him. And let's say we got a second round pick and we trade him to, let's say the Celtics. Because the Celtics have been good for like the last 5 years. We used to trade him to the Celtics. And we got that second round pick. And he was like, I don't want to sign back with the Celtics. I'm going to go to the Knicks. Now Nico looking way better because he looks like that man didn't want to be a Knick anyway.
Dang. I'm looking at the second round. I'm looking at these notable.
I get what you're saying. Like, we dodged the bullet. He was going to leave Dallas anyway. So, I get what you're saying. But for a second rounder, they're going to be like, man, we should have waited. We might have had a chance to stay with him. He probably went to New York.
Bro, we just trade a second round and they don't want to sign back for another second round.
I'm looking at some of these notable second round picks. Boy, they kind of fire though. Nick Van Exel. Goddamn Rashard Lewis.
What was Nick Van Exel's pick?
He was number. Dang, it went away.
The only late second round pick that I can think of was Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, that was the last pick of the draft.
Nick Van Exel was 37th overall in the second round.
That's early second round. I said late second round.
37 is early?
What is early?
It's early second round. That's a top 10 second round pick.
37?
Yes, it's
30. Yeah, because he's talking about 60. He's talking about 60.
Okay, I got you. Okay, that's out of 60 picks. Out of 60 picks.
So give me anybody from. Let's go. Let's make it easy. 50 to 60.
50 to 60. So the bottom half.
Yes, the bottom half.
Not 45. He want the bottom like fifth.
Most of them, there's no 50 or 60, but most of them are 45, and obviously in the 30s. So
I know you talking like Joker when you said 45.
I wasn't talking about I wasn't talking a presidential joke or nothing. Like, I'm literally looking. Dylan Brooks was 45th, and G.G. Jackson in Memphis 45th pick. So most value in 45, and it's also not early in the second round. So that's why I said 45.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic was 41st pick.
Yeah,
32, 36, 45. Dylan Brooks was 45th. Jalen Brunson was 33rd. Daniel Gafford was 38th.
Yeah.
Herb Jones 35th.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Troy.
So
it's just kind of hard. It's hard to determine at the time. We have the foresight now.
I'm just saying, if I'm the Celtics, I need a backup point guard. He averaged 16. You know what? You got my next 2 year second round picks. They're gonna be high any fucking way. You can go flip those for something else.
What if the Celtics could have got something better than Jalen Brunson with those picks? That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a possibility they could have gotten something better than Jalen.
Throughout the history, 50 through 60 are not good picks, except one, and that's Isaiah Thomas. So historically, we may get somebody that average 16 in the 50, 55 area, or we can just get the motherfucking averaging 16 and just give up that 50 to 55.
So why would Dallas be dumb enough to just take a second round pick?
Because he's not signing back. Because he's not going to sign back. Because he already showed that he overvalued his worth. So if he overvalued his worth, well, let's get some draft capital that we can maybe flip for something else.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if Dallas thinks that he's overvaluing his worth, why doesn't Dallas think that other teams think that he's overvaluing his worth?
That's why I said we just get 2 late second round picks.
I think with Troy, I say you take those second round picks.
I understand he's trying to get something, but you can't make someone give you something for nothing. You can't do that, Troy. You can't make somebody give you 2 picks if they don't want to.
You can't get anything if you don't offer nothing.
Okay, well, how do you know that they didn't offer that and everybody turned them down?
Because he was never in the trade block. Oh shit!
And you can't force somebody to take a player from you and give you what you want for them. You can't.
But you can at least offer them.
And especially if they, like you said, this is your point you make with the Luka AD trade. If Nico goes to any of the other GMs begging like, "Hey, give us something for Jalen," they have the leverage. See, Nico don't got nothing.
He don't have to beg.
Because Jalen ain't that good of a player.
He don't have to beg. He can be like, "Hey, Jalen Brunson's on the trade block. He's having 16. He's 25 years old. What's your best offer?"
And if no one bites, if they say, "Oh, we don't need that small guard. We don't need somebody who don't play defense. We don't need that." Then what is Nico supposed to do?
Somebody will bite. Somebody's gonna lowball it, and you be like,
"How do you know that?
Because
how do you know that?
Why wouldn't you lowball it? You'd be like, you know what? He's 16 points per game. He's short. I can use a backup point guard. This is the best I can give you.
I don't know. Like I said, we can't watch other teams' pockets. We can't tell them.
But
we don't know what they had.
What we can predict is that you're not getting nothing for Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, that's what happened. We got nothing because
if you trade Jalen Brunson, you're not getting nothing. You're getting something.
How do you know you can trade? It might
not be super valuable, but you're not getting nothing.
But you don't know that he can make that trade.
I do know that. The history of basketball told me that's the truth.
This is completely different from like when people try to compare this to Steve Nash. Steve Nash was the all-star with Dallas when they let him walk. So I can understand why you'd be more pissed off something like that. It's like, okay, you trade the all-star.
Exactly.
But Jalen Brunson is not the Jalen Brunson we know about. And it's kind of hard to predict Jalen Brunson becoming a 27, 28 points per game scorer based on his production with Dallas.
But you don't let an asset walk for nothing. Period. At least we got something for Luka. We didn't get nothing for Jalen.
So what I'm saying is Nico, in his mind, probably felt like he had the leverage. He was like, nobody's going to want him in the free agency. We're just going to sign him back for what we want to sign him back for. That's what he was. To me, that's probably what he was thinking. Because nobody wanted him.
And that's a flop on him.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and this goes so.
And that's the entire of the conversation. It was not a flop move, and it was a flop move.
Yeah, this is funny because this goes back to the topic at hand anyway. So basically, that's we're just chopping up as. We'll just chalk it up as that's a bad Nico move, right?
It was a bad Nico move.
You know,
I feel like that didn't hurt us as much as the Luka trade. Is what I'm saying. That those trades are 2 different caliber of trades. Letting Jalen Brunson walk for nothing is not as bad as letting Luka go for AD, who came and played a third of a game for us, hurt. Like we can go back and look at it. Like, but Jalen Brunson them ain't winning nothing. They not winning no championships.
That's fine.
They had to get rid of Julius Randle that year. Like
the jury's still out. What that trade with the Luka is done. We only outskirts of the trade that just happened. It's easy to see the value of the Jalen Brunson trade now. The Jalen Brunson getting nothing is easy. That's hindsight. But like you're trying to be like, well, this AD trade is horrible because AD was hurt when he was already got traded. So it's like AD can go get healthy and still go be a really great player for us.
But his history, for the most part, says he's going to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. As a good GM, you would see a person's tendencies, like a player's tendencies. Like he has a tendency to be hurt a lot. I wouldn't have banked on that. I would have tried to do something else because
that's false because he banked on Kyrie and Kyrie's hurt a lot.
But the difference is
I'm just saying, like, he obviously don't care about the history.
No, because Kyrie's value. Like, go ahead, D.
Kyrie's value tanked because of all the stuff he was going through in Brooklyn. That was an easy trade to make.
Exactly.
It's not like you traded Spencer Dinwiddie and Dodo.
Yeah.
For Kyrie, think about it. And you got Spencer back.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's not
that was a good trade. That was a good trade. That was one of his highlights for his trade. But my point is that we sit there like Luka was the one bad move. Luka wasn't just the one bad move.
I think Luka was the worst move.
Luka was the bad substantial. He was the bad substantial.
But the original topic was that Luka was the only bad move that he made, and it wasn't.
I think that there's no worse. I don't think Nico has done anything as bad as the Luka trade. Not that. He missed out on getting something from Jalen, but that's not as bad as trading Luka.
That's fine. But he still
we can do without that.
So what Troy's saying is a bad thing anyway. He's trying to say there were signs
that he make a bad move.
Could make a bad move, basically.
All I know is that didn't hurt us. That didn't hurt us like the Luka thing that hurt us.
We don't know what the Luka thing is going to do to us because we just got AD.
The only good thing that comes from this is Luka has the option. Nico has the option to do a fire sale. He has all these assets they could just trade away. That's the only good thing that comes from this.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens with that. And you know what? I know we kind of talked a while on that. So, but we got a lot to say. But I wanted to ask y'all one last thing. Which y'all, I know we Mavs boys, but what y'all think Luka gonna do, man? 'Cause we know they're gonna go to the playoffs. So what y'all think Luka gonna do if he gets to the playoffs this year, man?
It's hard, bro, because OKC's so good. Golden State's been on point. It's still right for me right now. I still see OKC coming out the West, but I do think the Lakers can upset some people's season. They could probably upset OKC realistically. But Luka has to be like prime Luka. He can't be like this shell of his former self right now.
I want Luka to go out for like 40 a game in the playoffs, and then they lose still.
Just this year, huh?
I don't want the Lakers to win. I don't want the Lakers to win.
I want Luka get an NBA championship if he could.
I don't want him to get one with the Lakers.
Nico's firing.
Nah, I don't want him to get one with the Lakers. I definitely don't want to let him get one on LeBron's team.
I want Luka to get one. I don't care. I want Luka to get one. I don't care where he at.
I don't want him to get one with LeBron. I want after LeBron retires or whatever, then yeah, he can get one. Because I like Luka. I still like Luka as a player. I don't hate Luka.
Stop hating on LeBron. You want to know what? You want to know what?
I hate on LeBron. He got the best player in the league.
I can't agree with that take. I'm gonna tell you why I can't agree with that take. Because that 40-year-old is balling, bro. That 40-year-old is balling.
We have never seen a 40-year-old ball at this caliber ever in the history of the game, bro.
For this long, yes, you're right. For that long, yes. We have seen a 40-year-old drop 40 before.
Wait.
But average 26 throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, and play all 82 games. We ain't never seen this 40-year-old do that.
That's fine.
At 40? No, we haven't. But okay, keep
That's fine. Pushing. Average 26 and still be a contender.
He averaged 20.
He basically
played all 82 games on bum knees.
We don't need all 82. We don't need all 82. But guess what though?
But was you in the playoffs?
Not even in the playoffs because his team he didn't have no help, right? That's the excuse I like to use. Right? Oh, okay.
Because he moved everybody. That man right there actually moved everybody so he can play on that Wizards team.
So LeBron didn't move everybody when he got to the Lakers?
No, because he don't make Rob Pelinka choices. Look,
y'all lying,
that's the difference between telling somebody to move somebody than actually moving somebody. It's entirely different. Him to actually move somebody.
He moved Rip Hamilton out of jealousy, man. You can't correct
Bro literally made the decision to trade
Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram.
That's fine.
D'Angelo Russell, Kuzma. All of them gone.
That's fine.
Hey, wait.
What?
Did you forget the Lakers were going to make the playoffs if LeBron doesn't mess up his hamstring?
But my thing is, it doesn't even matter because Rob Pelinka still has to be to give the okay. Jordan was the only motherfucker that had to get the okay on that. Rob Pelinka be like, hey, LeBron, be like, what you want, bro? Julius Randle not performing. Cool.
Jordan got rid of Rip Hamilton.
Jordan in the mirror like, hey, Jordan, who you want to get rid of? You know what, Jordan? I think I want to get a Rip Hamilton so I can take his spot and so I can play. So that's a good idea, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, you're a genius.
when Michael Jordan was winning his championships, who was he moving?
He didn't have to. He didn't have to move nobody. He had a great GM.
Okay, so why is it when Jordan was on the Wizards at 40, hooping with bad knees and everything, and he moved some people, it's viewed as a negative, but when LeBron do it, it's okay?
Because Jordan actually moved that
Jordan
person.
Makes the actual decision.
Jordan became the GM of the Wizards, bro.
So let me ask you this:
until LeBron becomes if LeBron retired and become the Lakers GM, then your point is valid.
It's not about being a GM. It's the fact that he had the sway with the GM to be able to move him.
Bro, that's like
okay. So y'all gonna tell me that Melo and Westbrook and all of them coming to play with LeBron? That was just the GM saying that?
That's like having $20 in your account. That's your account. It's on your card, and your girl be like, "I need gas. Can you put 20 in my tank?" You the motherfucker that got to make the decision.
So let me ask
you MJ in this situation. LeBron's the girl.
If you're saying that I have the decision to make it or not, but the person who's on my team that I chose to bring over here that is known for telling coaches and players to get the hell out. That's what he's known for.
That's fine. But just like you have the decision to pay $20 for your girl gas, Rob Link had that same decision with LeBron. When be like, no, I want to keep Julius Randle. No, I want to.
What I'm saying is, if you have the sway to move the coach and the players, and then y'all lose, and you don't take responsibility for the losses, that's on you.
No, it's not. Because you want your voice to be heard. It's the GM's job to make make basketball decisions.
That's delusion to me. Me telling these people like, hey, I want y'all to go pick up me 2 stuffed crust pizzas from Pizza Hut.
And that's fine.
They bring them to me, and I'm fine. Like,
you can go tell me to bring 2 stuffed crust pizzas. I'm like, bro, you live in Carrollton. I live in fucking Melissa. Hell no.
No, we in the same boat. Like we down the street. No. Like, hey, you on your way to my house right now? You bringing 2? I got the money for. Bring me 2 pizzas. You bring me 2 pizzas. Man, this nasty. I don't want this. Why you do this?
And I'd be like, well,
you asked me to bring these pizzas. I don't know, bro.
But you gotta ask. You gotta ask the type of pizza.
My thing is,
you gotta ask the type of pizza, though.
You should have went to go get it yourself.
I told him. I don't make the decision, boy.
Wait.
I just told you what I wanted, and you went and got it for me.
But you gotta be specific.
And then I got it, and then I didn't want it.
But you gotta be specific.
But I don't get blamed for that.
But you gotta be specific. So if you wanted cheese pizza and got pepperoni, what you gonna do?
But if I told you exactly who I wanted, I was like, hey, I want this coach fired. I want these players to come play with me, and they come play, and I don't have to. I'm just telling the GM this, and the GM make the decision to do that.
That's on the GM because it's GM job to make the decisions. It's not his job to listen to players. His job is to take the player's opinion and help make his own decisions. That is your job.
Okay. So when the GM doesn't do that, and that star player that I have on my team leaves, that's the GM fault too, right?
That's the GM's fault. Yes.
Okay. All right.
But the star player didn't leave. LeBron stayed.
No, he left Cleveland because the GM wouldn't give him players, right? Yes.
LA.
Okay, thank you. He left and went to Miami.
Yes,
and then he got to Miami and wanted Eric Spoelstra gone. And then Pat Riley was like, "Nah, bruh, we ain't doing that." And then after they won,
you see what
he left.
Right there? Hey, you see what you see what you just said right there? Pat Riley was like, "Nah, we keep Eric Spoelstra. That's the GM's job."
Okay, so what I'm saying is,
so to put
why is it never like when the GM follows the plan that LeBron has in place, that who he wants to play with and who he wants to get, when he doesn't follow it, it's the GM's fault because LeBron left.
That's fine.
When he does follow it and they lose,
you know why it's on the GM?
It's not LeBron. It's never LeBron's fault. Is what I'm saying.
You know why?
It's never his fault.
You know why it's the GM's fault? It's the GM's fault because he sit there and let this man make the decision for him. That's your job. You get paid to make basketball decisions, and you like, you know what? Okay, LeBron, you're right. How's that LeBron's fault? Because you the dumbass that want to be following him everywhere. You the dumbass.
Because LeBron asked for this. If your star player on your team asks for something, as a good GM, you should oblige him, right?
No.
Yes or no?
You should be like, I hear you, but we'll make the decisions based on what we can get for him.
All right, let me ask you this, Troy. you just paid this man $180 million contract to come play for you. And he said, if you don't give me these players, I'm leaving. Are you going to lose out on your $180 million you just paid him for him to leave? Or are you going to get him what he wants?
I'm going to be like, well, bro, we going to see what we can get with these pieces. Like, bro.
And then you don't get him what he wants.
Okay.
Or then, let's say, okay, one of two things happen.
Then I'll be like, okay, I'll trade you for 6 first-round picks.
All right, one of two things happen. You get him what he wants, and y'all still lose. Or you don't get him what he wants, and he leave. What's the problem? Like, how is that the GM's fault?
That's because you make the decisions, bro. You
okay.
Him. Like what? Like you're the decision maker of the basketball operation. When you're renting this dude, who makes the decision to pay the motherfucker? You do. And if you miss the rent, and you be like, oh, you know what? My girl she didn't go to work, and she didn't pay me her half for the rent. The shit's in your name.
All I'm saying is, like, there's a lot of excuses for why this man gets to do whatever he wants.
That's the reality of the situation.
It's not the reality because if he really like valued his role in the game and winning, instead of taking these $200 million contracts and just like get the pieces that you need to build a good team, and then you got the help that you need. But instead of getting the help you need, you get money. You bring your son on, this, that, and the third. Like, what's really good?
So he mad?
I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him for doing that. I'm not mad at him for doing that. If I was in the NBA and I could have my son play with me, I would do it. I'm not knocking him for doing that. I'm just saying, if you're really trying to win.
But you want to know what's funny about LeBron's situation?
What's up?
You realize he wouldn't have leverage if he wasn't so damn good, right?
I mean, you're right. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he's good.
How can a 40-year-old have that much power over a franchise? You got to be LeBron.
I'm not saying he's not good. Like y'all are mistaking me saying that he's not a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah.
It's just I literally just said I do not like all the excuses that he gets. Period. That's it. Leave it at that. I'm not talking about his game. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm saying,
excuses, bro.
Huh?
Everybody gets excuses. No NBA player went their whole season, their whole life without an excuse. MJ got excuses for years why he couldn't win in the 80s.
There's no excuse. The fact that he didn't.
They're fouling me. Let me go tell David Stern so they can blow the whistle for me.
Bro, do not bring up fouling people with LeBron and his flopping ass. You 40, you old enough, you strong enough to body anybody in the league.
And he does.
And you not getting to. Come on, bro.
Because he don't get fouls. He should way less free throws than MJ.
What do you mean he don't get fouls? He's because most of the time they're not fouls.
LeBron didn't even flop until he went to Miami. He learned it from D Wade because he said, "How you getting all these free throws, bro?" And he started flopping ever since.
Once again, he get the blame. Don't get put on LeBron for flopping. He learned it from somebody else. It ain't.
Did he not?
But I'm saying, is he flopping? Yes or no? Does he flop?
He's flopping because he don't get called.
Thank you.
So let me.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
do you think LeBron shoot his entire career?
Steph Curry don't get calls at all.
And but you comparing a dude
Steph Curry flop as much as LeBron.
You literally comparing a dude that primarily shoot threes to the dude that literally goes to the basket. like, bro, that's so different. Like you should get more free throws if you go to the basket. That's the point of going to the damn basket. It's to get to the free throw line.
So what I'm saying is when he does not get touched, he's bullying his way to, because a lot of the times I forgot what the graphic was. It was like 72 to 75% of the time LeBron has a smaller defender on him, which is smart basketball. You have the smaller person on you. You going downhill towards the rim. That's smart. That is smart basketball. So if you're bigger than these dudes and they're not touching you, why are you flopping?
They are touching them though.
They are touching them.
Not as much as he.
And you know somebody small. Like let's take Lou Dort for example.
Okay.
Lou Dort, who is smaller than LeBron, is trying to stop LeBron from scoring. You don't think he's going to go through whatever to make sure he don't get that bucket? Small people, and you know this playing ball. Smaller people do not give a damn about your health because you're bigger than them. So what do they do?
Well, first of all, I would never hurt nobody. I'm 6 foot, and I would never hurt anybody taller than me.
I'm not talking about you.
I'm gonna get out the way.
But I know you probably would. But what about the 5'9" dude that's checking you though?
Yeah, he fouling like
okay. The 5'9" dude that's checking me, like what's his name?
Thank you.
Tom or Will. or whoever the dude is at the school, I'm just gonna torch him, and I'm not gonna. I'm gonna call my fouls because they're fouling, but I'm not gonna flop to get a foul.
If Sandy's guarding you, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna blow by him because he's slower than me.
But that's the thing.
He's gonna check you before you
trying to make a point that like LeBron don't get free throws, bro. MJ shot way more free throws than LeBron.
Okay, well, first of all, if we compare the game and we compare the fouls back then to the fouls now, MJ was actually getting fouled more than LeBron. Like actually getting, MJ fouled too?
No, we fouled too. Okay, all right. MJ was literally getting D-Wade 06 type of calls. LeBron didn't even get that in his Cleveland tenure, bro.
Yes, he did. He got it in his second Cleveland stint. Yes, he did.
Not his first.
His first because he hadn't made a name for himself. He took that team.
He was a two-time MVP.
That's what I'm saying. He took that team. Like his first year, he wasn't getting. He was a rookie. Until he started going to the playoffs all the time in the weaker East. He was. We already looked at the. We already looked at the numbers.
They had the same level of competition. We looked at it.
Not across the league. Not across the league.
They had the same level of competition.
They didn't.
We looked at it. It was not that different.
It was. Boy,
no,
I'm trying to tell you.
No,
keep in mind, the first 7 years, the first 7 year LeBron, the first Cleveland stint LeBron was not playing in this space and pace era that they play now.
Yes,
he played in the exact same type of basketball environment that MJ played in, where there's a power forward and a center in the paint at all times, and he's still going to the paint. So we can't sit here and act like, oh well. You know, you can use that excuse for Luka. Luka benefited off of that, having like nobody really clog the paint all the time. Well, LeBron didn't have that luxury his whole career.
Luka's not saying that he's the greatest player of all time to ever play the game. Luka's not saying that, but LeBron says those words, so that's why I hold him up here. I'm not going to say.
Are going to always be better than Luka's though, so it don't matter.
What'd you say? Say that again.
I said LeBron credentials will always be better than Luka's, no matter what happens.
So far, we don't know. We don't know where Luka's going to end up.
Luka's got a lot of all defensive teams to go and catch up.
Well, okay, so the defensive team, yes, but offense, we know Luka's not a defensive player, so he's not gonna be able to get that. You're right.
Get mad at LeBron for thinking he's the greatest of all time. It's like because you don't believe he's the greatest of all time. It's just like what's the point of that? Of course, he's gonna feel like the greatest of all time.
I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like if the media is going to push that he's the face of the league and he's the greatest player of all time, then there should be a certain standard that you hold your game to as a player to not sit here and do all this flopping and stuff and then walking out early and airballing free throws and stuff like that, bro. Like,
you see every bad thing about LeBron James.
What type of standards is that? If you want to be the greatest of all time, you can't flop. If you want to be the greatest of all time, you can't airball. You want to be the greatest of all time,
I didn't say
you can't wear red shoes. Like, bro, what are we talking about? We talking about basketball? We talking about like legitly?
I'm legit talking about a player that
says the ESPN stats.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can't mentally take being the greatest player of all time, then don't say that you're that.
Bro, Jordan didn't have social media. Jordan would have got destroyed in social media.
So why don't knock Jordan for that? Just
LeBron been doing this since he was 18.
Don't knock LeBron for surviving social media.
Kobe came in. He was doing it.
Not at the level LeBron was.
Social media is an all-time high.
Like I said, Kobe's longevity was not the same as LeBron's. LeBron he spends millions of dollars on his body, which is great. I love that for him as a player. He needs to do that so he can play for longer. But just because he played for longer doesn't make him a better player than these players who played better.
It does.
You're acting like he's just longer prime. Yeah, the issue I have with that.
You can't tell me he's in his prime. His prime was back in 2016, 2018. That's the best LeBron I've ever seen play.
He's literally averaging the same numbers as his MVP Miami year.
Yeah, okay. So you're telling me that he can't shoot threes. He can shoot threes better now, and he can still go downhill and make plays.
2016, 2018 is peak Bron.
Yes.
This Bron now is like here. I'm like, bro.
So you're telling me? Okay, let me ask you this: Is he still? Has he always been a contender for? After his prime, has he always been a contender to win the championship? Every year.
He was in the playoffs damn near every year except the one year he got hurt.
I'm talking about when. So he stopped going to.
As long as AD was healthy. As long as AD was healthy, they were basically contenders.
Okay, and he stopped going to the finals as much because that's what a lot of, and this is another thing. A lot of people like to say he went to 10 finals out of 11 years or whatever. Jerry West, the logo, went so many times and finally won one.
And he got put on the logo. And he got put on the logo. He's the logo. He don't get.
So what I'm saying is, because back then he. What's up, D?
First Cleveland stint went to a finals.
Okay.
Miami stint went to finals.
Okay.
Second Cleveland stint went to a finals.
Okay.
Lakers stint went to a finals.
LeBron
went to a finals with 4 different franchises.
It's different when you can get a team and put a team together for your play style, which makes you look better when you get players around you. Y'all agree with that? Y'all said that.
Bro,
it's a team game.
LeBron had 4 stints with 4 different teams. All those stints are Hall of Fame careers. Nobody else can do that.
No.
It had 2 stints with 2 teams. That Washington ain't no Hall of Fame career. That's garbage.
I mean, Shaq won 4 with 3 different teams. So.
Yeah. That's fine.
Hey, look! I put it to you like this: as cold as Luka is, LeBron's first 7 years compared to Luka's first 7 years, you look at the resume. LeBron's resume is killing Luka's resume.
Well, okay, so I agree with that because Luka came into a franchise that was still Dirk's team. Dirk was on his way out.
He averaged 20 though.
Huh?
He averaged 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't Luka's team then.
I got you. All right.
But and so their style of play were different because Luka didn't always have the ball in his hands, and LeBron does because LeBron controls the pace of the game when he's in there, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not knocking him. Don't think that that's a negative.
Did you forget that they didn't like LeBron his rookie year? They were trying to ice him out, and he still averaged 20.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. As a rookie, his rookie year, like he had to go take over and show people that this is who I am. I have his first stint with Cleveland. I had so much more respect for him then than I did when he went to Miami. Than I did when he went back to Cleveland. Than I did when he went to the Lakers.
Wow. He was still great.
Those first,
He was still great. He was still a Hall of Famer.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't care about that. I'm talking about the way he played the game and the love that he showed for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all see me get on Luka about this when he was on our team. The walking back on defense. The not playing defense.
Look,
blaming your teammates when y'all lose as a team. To me, that's the most diabolical thing a player can do.
When you got people like you that sit there and don't talk to try to put everything outside of basketball and try to blame you for everything outside of basketball, I would kind of have a hard time loving the game too, bro. Because
what am I blaming him outside of basketball? What am I blaming him for? What did I say that had nothing to do with basketball?
Not saying anything outside of basketball.
I'm not saying nothing outside of basketball.
But you are going out of your way to bring up every negative
percentages and
I mean that's technically basketball.
That is basketball. So if I have to not like everything y'all don't like for me to not like a player.
No, that's not.
Bro. I can not like a player for whatever I want.
My issue is that you act like MJ
was because of something so small as flopping. And all this other crap.
That's not small. That is not small.
That is small.
You act like flopping. Yeah, to you it's small. To me, it's not small. I don't have to like everything y'all like. So y'all can stop. This is what I have a problem with in the media. If I don't like a player for flopping, I cannot like that player for flopping. I don't have to like him. Period.
You like Luka?
I like Luka's offense. I don't like his flopping. I don't like him crying to the refs. I don't like him crying to the refs. I don't like him not running back on defense. There's a lot of stuff I don't like about players.
You just hate
and just because I like the same thing about LeBron. So everybody gets mad at me because I don't like LeBron.
By that logic, you just hate the NBA.
No, I hate certain things about certain players. Period.
But my question is there anything you hate about MJ?
Yes, I do hate. The things I hate about MJ is that he left. He retired. I hate that I hate that whenever his first few years in the league.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Hugh. I'm sorry.
Well,
I can't believe that was your first one. You could have gave me a better first one than that, man.
That he left after his three-peat left, and everybody always says, "Oh, if he would have stayed, Kareem them would have beat him." Like I wish he would have stayed.
Basketball skill wise. What didn't you like about MJ? Not him leaving.
His shot. I didn't like him. I didn't like his shot. I didn't like that he wasn't a prolific shooter. I didn't like that he couldn't shoot. That he chose not to shoot the three. As a player, I would want my greatest player of all time to be well-rounded all around the court. Shoot the three, shoot the mid-range, be able to drive, and play defense. I want all of that as my greatest player.
Okay, then who's your GOAT? Man? Because it's not MJ. Huh? By that standard, it's not MJ. Who's your GOAT?
That's what I said. I have to pick. Even though I don't like something about a player, I can pick somebody to be my GOAT, which I'm still picking MJ. But I'm not picking. I would rather pick somebody who doesn't shoot the three well than somebody who doesn't play defense or cries to the refs the whole time and doesn't run back on defense.
Are we talking about LeBron?
No, I'm talking about Luka, LeBron, everybody who doesn't run back on defense. I hate that as a player. I hate that because y'all played with me before. If we playing, not to rag on anybody, but just y'all seen if we see Jordan shooting us out the game and all he does is come down and jack. I hate that about a player. If you know that you're not making the shot, pass the ball to the other team. That's all I'm saying.
But the problem is it's easier for us to remember those things about LeBron and Luka because it's recent. We were adults when we seen it. We were teenagers when we watched it. We were kids when we watched MJ. There's no way you remember every little nuance of MJ. He probably didn't get back on defense certain time, but we didn't watch it like that because
back when I was in college. So this was like 2007. I used to watch MJ's film. Like, I watched MJ's film, and then right after MJ, I watched Kobe's film. Right after Kobe's film, I watched D-Rose's film. Like, I went through and studied their game to apply it to my own game.
But that's not the same. It's not the same.
So what I'm saying is, yes, I watch full games, not highlights, not clips, full games. And I used to see...
It's still not the same. Because I'm saying that because you still were watching Kobe live. We watched MJ live, but we watched him live as a kid.
Exactly.
So there's no way as a child you remember every little nuance. You're going to remember a lot of nuances with LeBron because A, you watched it live, and B, because LeBron is still playing. Kobe was still playing when social media was here. We could just go back to YouTube, like you said, yes, and look at every nuance. And they talk about it a lot more because of social media. So they cherry pick everything. They cherry pick stuff back then, but it's in the newspaper. Kids ain't looking at newspapers like that, So I'm just saying, there's no way you can sit here and if you're going to bring up all the bad stuff about LeBron, you got to bring up the bad stuff about MJ, which us three here, we're around the same age. There ain't no way we remember everything about MJ. We can tell you everybody about LeBron. We've been teenagers since LeBron played. That's all I'm saying. So,
okay, and so recency bias or whatever you want to call it, I understand what you're saying. At the same time, when I have in my 30s, I went back and looked at these games and listened to the commentators and listened to the interviews. Yeah. Like, I still do not like when a player throws his teammates under the bus. I can never get behind that. I hate when if you're the star on your team and you're saying that we don't have the guys to win, even though I understand it's a team game, but never throw your teammates under the bus like that. That's crazy. Like, I'd never do that. I would talk to my teammate off the court in behind closed doors. I'm not going to blast them on social media. Y'all know that social media is big right now in this current day and age. So if you say anything on the internet, everybody's going to see it. So it's like for him to downplay these other grown men that were on his team saying we didn't have a full team and the complimentary guys. Like, you're talking bad about these dudes, even though, like, supposedly you make these people better, but obviously they not good enough to be on the team, and they're the reason why you lost? Like, come on, bro.
Michael Jordan said Luke Longley was trash. So what's the difference?
Well, according to my MJ, everybody was trash compared to him. That's just his personality. And Krause even came out and said that MJ never came to him and asked him to get nobody else. He said he could win without anybody else. But he did. That's just what's his mentality. I'd rather you lose in the 80s thinking you can be the best person than to finally win 1 out of the 4 years of your contract because you got all these people. Like, think that you can win at all times and don't blame nobody else for you losing. That's all I'm saying.
He wouldn't go to no finals.
Huh?
If he didn't think that, he wouldn't be going to no finals.
Who, MJ or LeBron?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm
and LeBron didn't think he was going to win. He would have just lost in the the Western Conference, Eastern Conference final because nobody would ever say shit about his record then because it doesn't matter if you go to the finals. You have to it's better losing the first round. It's way better. It's better than going to the finals.
Not saying that. I've always said that if you're going to say you are the greatest player, then you have to win on the biggest stage. That's it. I'm not talking about losing in like no one cares who lost in the first round. I don't care that LeBron got swept a couple of years back in the play. He lost in the play-in. No one cares about that. What I'm saying is if you're the greatest player on the biggest stage of the sport that you play in, you are supposed to win.
The only time he was supposed to win and he lost, in my opinion, was 2011.
That's it.
Okay, so let me ask you this: y'all say it's a team game. The Mavericks had a better team than LeBron, even though LeBron and them were the favorite and Dallas was the underdog. Why, as the greatest player, are you losing to the underdog? You're not supposed to.
That's fine, and that was the only time he ever lost to the underdog.
Or at least he didn't show up. That's the only time he didn't show up.
No, he
was. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. You can't really. I don't remember no other star player on the team not showing up in the finals. If y'all have someone,
Kobe?
Please tell me. Kobe? When did he not show up? When did he score?
2004.
And he scored less than 8 points in the game?
I don't think it was that bad, but his shooting percentage was abysmal.
Okay. So he was missing shots, but he was still taking shots and he was still trying to win, right?
He wasn't trying to win. He was trying to prove a point.
Oh, okay. This was the year he was passing to his teammates, right?
Yeah. No.
That wasn't that year?
He still had Shaq. This is the year they had Carmelo, Gary Payton, Shaq.
Oh,
because he was selfish.
I remember that. He wasn't playing with his team. I remember that. So he thought he was the man, and he was okay. So and he after in the interview after that game, did he say that his team was trash? Not trash. He didn't, not in those words, but did he say he didn't have the pieces to win?
I'll have to look it up. You never know what Kobe might have said back then because it was a volatile situation back then.
I got you. Did throw Shaq under the bus.
When? Yeah, he did.
Say he didn't work. He don't have a good work ethic.
Oh, okay. That's work ethic. That's not blaming him for losing everything. That's not blaming Shaq for Kobe missing shots.
He's essentially saying, I'm not feeding Shaq because I don't feel like he works as hard as I do. That's essentially what he said.
I don't think historically you will find a LeBron quote where he like specifically point out a teammate for losing that game to him.
I don't think he's pointing his finger at a player, but he's saying all the bench players are not good enough for him. All the supporting cast. He said they didn't have the supporting cast.
If we're talking about 2015, then he didn't have his main guys in 2015, so that's a fair thing to say.
Like, so the interview I saw was with Eddie House. Eddie House. Fellas. Okay, we'll end it right here.
I have to go.
Hey, enough of the LeBron talk. You're a LeBron hater. All right, go ahead and send us off, man.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all for coming out. Like I said, we're trying to reach 50 subscribers. We're at 36 right now, so if y'all can ship it out, spend it. What's up?
Hold up, before that, hey, apologies. We kind of got carried away this episode. Going forward, we're going to try to keep it a little bit short and sweet. So I just want to make sure to let y'all know that it's not going to be a 2-hour special every time, but we have to get these things off our chest. Go ahead, Ehu. My bad. No, go ahead, dog.
Yeah, man. We're trying to reach 50 subscribers. We'll appreciate if y'all share the videos around, share the channel around, And give us some likes and subscribes. We really appreciate all the love and support we get from our friends and our family and all the new subs. We appreciate y'all, man. And y'all stay safe out here.
And we appreciate the LeBron fans too. Don't listen to the guy that's named Ehu in here, man. We love y'all too. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Love, peace, man. We'll talk to y'all later.